Hello, this is JPX Kills, back for another Project Euler problem. We're going to be solving problem 3 in Java today. The prime factor of 13,195 are 5, 7, and 13, and 29. What is the largest prime factor of this number? So we're going to make a class in Eclipse or Nepians or whatever you have called problem 3, and we're going to make the main function first, and after that we're going to make another function and we're going to call it factors. This function is going to return a list type, and note that you have to import java.util.ArrayList and list, and just make sure to import those two. Static list, and the type is going to be long. Oh, make sure the L is capital. Factors long num. So it's gonna return a long list, a long typed list, and it's gonna take in as an argument a long number. And if you're not familiar with array list, it's just a type of array that can hold a number of variables, and you don't have to define the number of variables. It will just hold as many as you put into it, unlike arrays where you have to define the number of variables that you're going to put into it before you start putting stuff into it. Okay, so the first thing inside this factors function, we're going to make our array list. So we're going to do array list long, and we're going to name it factors equals new array list long, long parentheses. Right, and then after that, we're going to have a for loop. For, we're going to make this long because it's easier to do it that way. And we're going to set this equal to 2. And we're going to do I is less than or equal to number, or num. Alright. So we have this, and inside of this for loop, we're going to have a while loop. And what this while loop is going to do is going to find the number of prime factors it's going to find the prime factors for the number that we put in as number. As we put in as the argument, it's going to find that number of prime factors. So we're going to do num, while num is divisible by I. Yep. We are going to add I to our factors array. So we do that by factors dot add, not ki, and then we're going to do num divided equals I. And doing this is the same as saying num equals num divided by I. So I'll explain this in a second. And there we go, yeah. And for the return value, we're going to have return factors. And in the main function, we're going to first make an enhanced for loop. So we're going to make it a long type. So long, and then we're going to put our function factors into the for loop. Factors, and we can pass through arguments there. Oops. And for example purposes, I'll show you. We're going to print out long. So if I put in 9 in factors, this is going to run through all the numbers in the list that it returns. So if I put in 9, it should return 3 and 3. So there we go. And the reason that it returns 3 and 3, I'll go through this briefly. And when we put in 9, it takes it as, it sets num equal to 9 when we put it in factors. And so it runs through this, it makes our array, and in the for loop, it will run 9 times. Right now it will run 9 times. And so this goes through, and it checks if 9 is divisible by I, and I is 2 right now. and 9 isn't divisible by 2, so it'll skip this. It'll go I equals to 3, 9 divided by 3, that's divisible, so we'll add 3 two factors. And so then it will divide it will divide 9 by 3, and then so number equals 9 right now, and so 3 divided by 3 is divisible, and I will add 3 to this again. And since number is now equal to 3, it'll only run till, well, it's going to actually stop running now because number is 3, and I is already equal to 3, and it'll go to return, and it'll return 3. And what this does, it just repeats as many times as there are values in our array list. And so if we want to find the greatest prime factor, we're going to do 4, and first we're going to make an int called greatest equals 0 right now. You know, we don't have to do this, we'll just find it out while we put the number in. Take this number, and one thing to note is that when we put this number in, we have to put L after it, a capital L. Or it doesn't actually matter, but I like capital L. So we put capital L in, and when we do this, we get our factors back. And we just look through them, and we find the largest one, and here it is. So if this helped you in any way, then just like the video. If you have any questions, message me. And oh, one last thing. If you want to find out how long your program takes, then you can do this real quick. If you do long time equals System.currentMillisecond, and then you have to start this at the beginning of your main class, and it's just helpful to see how long your program takes. When you want to post any of your coding, you can always say how long your program takes. So you do this, and then after that you do long time 2 equals System.currentTimeMilliseconds minus time. And then you do float time 3. Time 3 equals time 2 divided by 1000. 1000 f. And then to print it out, you just do time or seconds taken is this plus time 3. Time 3. There we go. And I'm going to put a print out so it spaces it out a little bit, and don't forget the plus. And you can see how long it takes. So this is how long the program takes, and this is the largest number. And thank you for watching, and please subscribe.